What's up YouTube, it's your boy, the Mediocre Moose, here today showing you some Silver Strats. This is episode 1 in the Silver Strats series, where I cover basic strategies that can be executed at the silver level. Today's strat that I'm going to be discussing is going to be T-side on Mirage, and it's going to be the default strat setup. You know, a lot of times you hear people talking about, you know, play for picks, and what they're really saying is that they want to set up as a default, and you know, depending on where you get your kills is where it's going to influence where you're going to go on the map. So something I notice a lot with silver games is when you're playing T-side on any map really, the only strategies that you guys know is to either rush one of the bomb sites or to do a delayed rush on one of the bomb sites. You know, if you want to get better at the game, you have to get better at, you know, gaining map control, gathering information, and then making a strategic decision as to which bomb site to go to, not just simply rushing a bomb site. Alright, so with the default setup, that helps you gain map control and it helps you gather information. Alright, so the basic way you want to set up your T-side on Mirage default strat, each of you is going to spread out throughout the map. Player number 1 is going to hold Palace, player number 2 is going to hold a ramp, player 3 will hold top mid, player 4 will go Underpass, and player 5 will hold for an apartments push over by the B site. Okay, for position 1, first guy is going to go into Palace and he's going to hold this spot. There's a couple of spots you could play from within Palace, but the key is you don't want to be seen here. You also don't want to bring the bomb in here, so let me go drop that outside. You know, when you set up for a default, you typically want to leave the bomb in T-spawn. Alright, so player number 1, T-side Mirage, you're going to play in Palace. There's a couple of spots you can play from. You can play from right here. You can play from, you know, back here, super passive. Hold this angle right there. That's kind of nice because you can fall back a little bit in case you get pushed. And the idea is you don't want to be aggressive. You don't want to be seen. All you want to do is gather information. You know, maybe you play up a little closer. Maybe you play up over here to try to listen to, you know, any CTs in the site. You're trying to gather information to figure out how many players on each site. That's the goal. You're just holding the position to wait for the push, and then you're basically going to punish the CTs for pushing, right? And let's say if you get a kill here, then you now know that, you know, there's one less person on A site, and then maybe you decide to take A as a team. Okay, but you're going to make that decision much later into the round. You're going to make that decision, you know, probably halfway through the round in terms of like what site you're going to take. Okay, so you have to be patient. This strategy is all about being patient and hoping that the CTs get impatient and they rush you. So position number 1, playing in Palace, holding it, not going anywhere. All right, player number 2. Player number 2 is going to be watching for an A ramp push. You know, some of the spots that you can hold A ramp from. Here's a good one. You know, you can hold one from here. You can hold, you know, you can hold one over here. You can hold over here. I don't recommend holding here, right? Just because you can get spotted. You could maybe, like, if there's a smoke up, hold it over here. You know, waiting for the push. You know, you can hold it over here, waiting for the push. You know, again, you do not want to be seen. You're just gathering intel, and you're going to punish the CTs if they decide to push you. Okay? So player number 2, you're holding a ramp, but not pushing. Alright, player number 3. Player number 3 is going to get mid control. There's 2 ways that this mid player can do it. They can do it from over here, right? Which is kind of more passive. You know, they're going to hold for a mid push, or maybe a push from cat, right? I don't recommend peeking because you can get offed pretty easily. Just play passive, you know, wait for them to push, try to listen, try to hear where they are. If you do want to play aggressive, if you do have, you know, someone who's pretty good at offing on your team, you know, you can set up a smoke right there so that you can get over to boxes. I'll show you that real quick. Okay, hop onto this trash can here, pull your smoke out, aim for this part of the antenna right there, and let her rip. And what you'll notice is it's going to bounce, and land perfectly right there. So that'll allow this guy to safely cross over to boxes without getting hit from the guy typically playing connector or the guy playing over on window. So there's a little gap here from cat side, so you gotta be mindful of that as you're crossing over. You know, you should be able to get here before the cat guy. Player number 4 is gonna run up this way and play underpass. Okay. Now the underpass player can either, you know, play it back here, you know, waiting for an underpass push, or what I prefer is for them to play a little bit further up. You know, maybe try to see if they can catch a guy scoping at window. Maybe they can, you know, punish the guy connector if the connector guy tries to peek the guy top mid. You know, what this is a really nice setup because, you know, with one guy at top mid and one guy at bottom mid at underpass, now you have pretty decent mid control, and you also have a lot of information. You can see if there's a guy on cat. You can listen for the guy on cat. You can listen to the guy window room. You can probably, you know, see or hear the guy connector. So the underpass guy can definitely gather a lot of information. And typically the underpass guy, you probably want this to be one of your higher skilled players on the team, because this person is probably going to see quite a bit of action. You know, because once you do decide to hit a site, you know, maybe you decide to take, you know, connector and do an ace split. You know, this guy's going to see a lot of action, so you want him to be, you know, one of your top fraggers. You know, or if you decide to do a B hit, right, this guy can, you know, throw smoke for connector and come up and hit B from cat with the top mid guy. So this guy's going to see a lot of action. You want this guy to be one of your better fraggers. Position number 5 is going to be your B site apartments player, who's basically just going to hold for a push, right? So, you know, this guy can hold from here, you know, they can even hold in here if they wanted to. You know, it's really up to them, but the key is you do not want to be seen, right? You know, or if you do want to be seen, you better be a pretty good shot, right? Because, you know, if you get seen, you're giving information to the CTs, right? You know, this default strategy is a passive one, or it's going to be a passive one. You can play it 2 ways, passive or aggressive, right? But let's say if we're playing the passive version of this default strat, you're basically just getting information, right? So in this position of apartments, you can listen to how many guys are on B site. You can listen to how many guys are on cat, right? Once you have an idea of where the CTs are on the map, you can make a decision as a team which site is weaker and which one's going to be easier to hit. You know, you don't want to just continue to rush into bomb sites blindly. You know, you want to work things slow, play for picks. Let's say if someone pushes from one of the sites, you know, you're there to punish them, and, you know, then you got a 5v4. Alright guys, well, hope this video was helpful. So try this out in game. This should set you up for success on most T-side rounds on Mirage. So try it out, let me know how it goes, comment below. Hope this video helped. If you found this video helpful and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe. Until next time, get out there and stay average.